Now you know your mom and the parent that she was and how she raised you because you were there.
Mm-hmm.
What are some, in your opinion, some similarities and differences between your mother's parenting style and yours with your daughters?
Now, my mother wasn't really able to talk to her a lot.
Okay.
I mean, I could, but she was more harsh with things. So, like, if I went to her, like my first heartbreak
Okay.
was when I first started Frankford High. We were 2 weeks in, and my boyfriend broke up with me because I guess he felt like, we grew up in the same hood, and I'm not telling his name. We grew up in the same hood. And
He knows who he is.
yeah, he knows. People that know me know, but I ain't saying nothing. But anyway, he broke up with me after 2 weeks of school, and my first heartbreak, I was crushed.
Okay.
And God rest her soul, it was my Aunt Marlene
Okay.
who heard me, who heard the conversation, and she ran in the kitchen, and she, so I wound up telling her about it, and she comforted me. Later on in life, I found out she told my mom about that. I thought she was sworn to secrecy all those years, but
Shout out Marlene.
yes, but I mean, like my mom, like I could try to tell her about something, and she was very harsh about it,
Okay.
and I didn't like that.
Okay.
So I felt like, when my children get older, I'm going to be real with them, but I'm not going to be all harsh,
Okay.
anything like that.
Okay.
I don't, so, yeah.
So
But,
how you handled that situation was a direct reflection of how you grew up, basically, with your experiences with your mom. You said, this is something I'm gonna do differently if I have kids.
Yeah, and being there, now, don't get me wrong, my mom was there.
Got it.
But I'm talking about far as like I wouldn't let them out of my sight,
Okay. Okay.
because of things that I grew up and experienced. I wouldn't let them out of my sight because I'm like, I don't want to live in a gated community.
Got you.
Over mine,
Right.
So
Right.
therefore, I made sure I stuck around them so that they didn't have to experience some things that I did.
Okay. Now, speaking of things that you experienced growing up, do you have a worse day of your childhood or a time period that you would like to forever forget?
I can say that there was, I can say that, but I would really be lying because the things that I went through that I was like, I wish that, I wish I never experienced this, is the things that molded me.
Okay.
So I have a habit of taking things that I feel as though are negative and I turn them into positive, or I look for something to bring positive out of it. So even though I grew up living in a shelter and dealing with the things with my stepdad and things of that nature,
Okay.
it just made me realize, like, I'm going to stay on my game. This is what I'm not going to do, so I just use those things to make sure that as an adult, my kids ain't going to go through that.
Got it. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So-
the flip side of that is, do you have a favorite day or time period of your childhood that if you could, you would go back to?
I did so many things in my childhood that I think if I went back, I would have to probably go back to age 5 on up because I just really
Now, how
had
old?
everything.
So at 85, you were what?
No, if we go back to age 5.
Oh, age 5.
That would
Sorry.
be 75.
Oh, age 5. I apologize. Okay.
But I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I had everything.
Right.
Like, I went a lot of places, I didn't experience Disney World till I became an adult.
Okay.
But my children were what, like age 10, 9 and 10 when
Right.
they experienced Disney World. But I mean, like, we did a lot of things. Like, there's a lot of things that my mom did not get to do with me that I made sure that I did with my children.
Okay.
But other than that, yeah.
What are some examples? Like, what are some things that you did with your kids that you didn't do with your mom? Like Disney World, obviously.
Disney
one of them.
World, Canada.
Really?
Just going out of the country.
Okay.
My mother, she had never gone out the country. So, Canada, Jamaica, a lot of different amusement parks because I'm a roller coaster fanatic.
Okay.
So just a lot of different things like that.
So a lot of getting outside of the neighborhood and kind of like traveling.
Yeah.
You did that with your daughters.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
My mom, she didn't like rap music, so me wanting to go to rap concerts was totally out because she wasn't taking me and she wasn't sending me.
Your mom and my dad should have been best friends.
Yeah, so I had to watch Run DMC from the Vet Stadium, looking at all of the hoopla going on in the street, and then kind of glad that I didn't go inside because I don't know what transpired on the inside.
Okay.
But when my children got older, I kind of see why my mom didn't want to go to certain concerts.
Okay.
But she took me to see Rick James and Tina Marie.
So you did? You saw Rick James and Tina Marie live?
James, yes.
How was that, by the way? Amazing?
It was awesome, but
right.
Yeah, you should have been 18 to go to that concert. Yeah.
Now, did
10.
your daughters, like when they got of age, what was the first concert you let them go to?
First concert I took my children to was, I believe it was the Scream Tours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who was headlining that? Oh, Sierra. Okay.
Bow Wow.
Okay.
B2K, Pretty Ricky.
Right.
Marcus Houston.
Okay.
Omarion.
But you went with them, like they didn't go.
I probably screamed more than they did. I went with them. I was that mother that I'm not sending them into a situation. I'm going to go with them, but I'm not going to say no. You're not going to that because I don't like it. Nah, I don't believe in that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything in your childhood that occurred that you feel like affected your life forever, whether negatively or positively?
Probably like my father not being around.
Okay.
To teach me about certain things, like I had to learn from the streets.
Okay.
So I always tell people, and this might be my next book, that I know the streets as well as the scripture. So my stepmom, she was into the Lord heavy. So whenever I wanted to hear about God, I would get on the phone and call her. And I was about 5 years old.
Okay.
I would call her. I would just say, hey, Mom, talk to me about God. And she would go on and on and on.
Right.
Answering all my questions.
Okay.
So, there was always that love there from the beginning that kind of allowed me to go through life. Now, my mom was a different story. We didn't start really getting into church until 11th grade.
Okay.
And I remember that day because I was sick of everything. I was in the shelter, sick and tired of everything, just like, leave me alone.
Okay.
Until she came in all happy, and I'm like, what you happy about? We living in a shelter. I just got chased by homeless people.
Right.
I want you to meet these people. And I'm like, well, who are these people? Oh, they gospel rap. Oh, now you got me because you said rap.
Right.
And from that day, I was like, cool. Church is not a bad place. I can go there and have some fun.
So you love the Lord a lot.
Yes, I do.
I know that's right. What is your overall perception of how your childhood affected your life? Like overall, the person you are today, how do you feel like you said, all these things molded you into who you are today? Who are you today? And how did your childhood kind of affect that? How did your childhood evolve you from a 9-year-old Tamara into 50-year-old Tamara?
Well, I have a video from when I was 2 years old.
Okay.
So from that point, I always loved the camera and the microphone.
Okay.
So that's one part of it right there. Also, just my mother instilling values in me. Telling me you can be anything that you want. Always hold your head up high. Be assertive. Don't be nasty, but always, keep a pleasant demeanor, but mean business, you know, and stuff like that. So those are the things that I carried with me because I was kind of timid with a lot of things and but as you get older, you just begin to do what you need to do. And those are the same things that I instilled in my children.
Okay.
But pretty much being just having a positive attitude, just not allowing people's words to say things. Because I almost fell into that, trying to be like everybody else. My mom wasn't having it. She was a seamstress. So she made all my clothes.
Okay.
And she just always molded me to say, pull yourself aside. Be a leader, not a follower.
Okay.
Don't want to hang out with the crowd. Keep your circle small. She taught me a lot of different things. So those things, and then growing up, you start to see how people do.
Right.
I hung with the nerds, but I also hung with the chicks that had some names.
Right.
It was just a balance, but it was just the overall being around everybody and just loving everybody, not judging, but just being part of everything.
All right.
So
if you look back at your childhood, I want you to give some advice to blank-year-old Tamara. You pick the age. What advice would you give to blank-year-old Tamara? Now, knowing everything that you know today.
Let's say maybe I'll go back to age 24.
Okay, so you want to give advice to 24-year-old Tamara.
Yeah, I think 24-year-old Tamara.
What would you tell her?
I would tell 24-year-old Tamara that those nice guys that you thought was corny was probably the ones that would have stuck around and you probably would have been married to.
Okay. Hey, that's some advice. Anything else?
What else? Can't really think of anything else because again, I just pretty much always went forward. Like if you told me I couldn't do something, I'm going to prove you wrong that I can.
Okay.
A lot of things I had to work around my children because of being a single parent and I having no support.
Okay.
So there was a lot of different opportunities that I probably would be further in life, but I was a mother first. I was never putting my kids off on people, and but being in certain avenues, and I'll share this one thing with you. I was a Budweiser model.
Okay. Really?
But being a Budweiser model opened up some doors because it was like.
How did that happen? How did the Budweiser model? How did that happen?
I was a Budweiser model by being in a Miss Philly pageant.
Okay.
Miss Philly style pageant.
Okay, Miss Philly style pageant.
Yes.
You remember when that was?
93.
93. Okay.
And so from that point, it opened up doors, and I didn't win the pageant, but I was selected to be a Budweiser model.
Okay.
So it was a lot of promo work, but it was extra money.
Right.
And I was able to get in places and meet people. So, be a Budweiser Superfest, Budweiser model, knowing people behind the scenes,
right,
backstage, and it just took off from there. So I met a lot of celebrities, a lot of football players, basketball players, and, not being a groupie,
right,
but being a cool person, it just took off.
Who was your favorite celebrity that you met?
My favorite celebrity? I had a crush on Keith Sweat.
Really?
So
okay.
When I met him, like a child personally put this tag around my neck and escorted me through the crowd backstage. And all I did was say, "Excuse me, sir, I don't know who you are, but I want to meet Keith Sweat." And he made it happen. Just like with Life Jennings. That's, I'm still crushing on him. I met him, several times, But, I mean, it's just being you and just asserting yourself in a certain type of way, a respectful manner.
Now, you had mentioned in closing that something would be your next book. Did you like to write growing up as part of like what you loved about going to school?
I did. I love reading books and I like writing. I like writing plays. So actually, I did write 2 books.
Okay.
But again, also in just putting myself out there. Snuck out of work one day to go to an audition.
Okay.
That night I was on the stage with Karen Clark Sheard and Robin Givens and the girl who played Janine on House of Pain and all these big names.
Okay.
Just sneaking out of work one day. So, just being in the right place and whatnot, put you in places. But it was prophesied back in the summer of 2015. To be exact, it was a doom day.
Okay.
So that would put it around June 7th or 8th or something like that.
Okay.
But it's prophesied that I was going to write a book.
Okay.
And from that point was when I began to put everything together. So actually, I am an author of 2 books. And
okay. What was the first one?
The first one is called Tears of an Only Child.
Okay.
Here it goes right here. Tears of an Only Child. Sold on Amazon.
Nice. Tears of an Only Child.
Sold on Amazon.
And you can
or
get that
you
on.
can get it personally from me, and I can autograph it.
Okay.
You know.
And what was the second one?
The second book, Falling in Love with the Devil. Actually, this is going to definitely be a movie.
Okay.
I've already written a script for it
Nice,
last week.
Nice,
So
nice.
actually, this book is going to be a short film, and I don't know. God is going to take it somewhere, but I keep having this vision of being in a movie theater, and everyone in there has this book. So I know that there's something that's going to be, but it's not what you think. Falling in love with the devil is not about something evil, but if you read it, you'll find out. And not only that, I want to bring awareness to mental illness.
Okay.
That's what it's really about. To bring awareness and to help. That's what it is.
Got it. Thank you so much, Tamara.
You're welcome.